Happy Monday, everyone. Words are hard today. We have almost made it to the end of the official school year. I have a question for you. First of all, on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being like, I'm done, like I need to talk to my best friend right now because I'm just done. Kind of situation where you just can't deal with things that are going on. That's a 1. 10 is that you have not watched the news for the last, like 10 weeks. So you're all sunshine and unicorns and rainbows. Where are you at? How are you feeling? What's going on? I'd love to get a little pulse. When all of these things started to happen and schools started to shut down and we knew IEPs were going to be a mess and, just everything was closing, we were all in shock. And I was doing these check-ins all the time with everybody, and I haven't checked in with you for a while. So how are you doing? Here's what I've noticed. My ups and downs are not quite as severe as they were in the beginning. It was like really good days or really like awful days of like, what the heck is going on? And now I kind of float somewhere in the middle. And there's some really, really good days. And then there's so like, I don't know. And then I can pop back up to the like, yeah, it's all going to be okay. So where are you at? I would love to know. And as we are checking in with each other here, tell me about ESY and yourself. So whether you're a parent or a teacher or maybe a therapist who works for the school, are you in or out when it comes to ESY? I'm noticing that there are more people that are checking out of the ESY opportunity than ever before. And, I've been doing this for 20 years. I have been working with IEP teams on all sides of the table. And I have heard more people say this year that they're done, that they're not going to participate in ESY. And that includes both students and teachers who are deciding not to participate in ESY. For those of you that don't know, a lot of teachers have a choice to participate in ESY. Their contract gives them a choice. So they're choosing not to. They need some time off. Let's see. Katie says, I'm in a good groove, but I still don't like this whole virtual learning thing. I know. ESY is still up in the air. I hope it's a yes, though. I'm an ASD teacher. All right, Katie. And Katie, remind me, you're in the Master IEP Coach program, right? I recognize your name. So I want to say that you are joining us for the Master IEP Coach mentorship this summer. So you're going to be working with me in that way. And I'm excited to have you. And ESY is up in the air for many districts on how it's going to go. But there are a lot of people that are like, I don't even care what my school district offers. I'm done. I just wrote 3 letters for Master IEP coaches to use with their clients. Katie says, yes, ma'am. So that's right. Am I a ma'am? No, I'll take it. So I wrote 3 letters for Master IEP coaches that they can use with their clients. And one of them says, we definitely want to do ESY, and we need to get a little creative to how this is going to happen, because just having virtual learning is not an option, like not going to happen at all. As in, we can't do this 100% online. It's not effective. All right. Then there's a second letter that says we're not doing any online. However, we want to talk about alternative options for ESY outside of just what the school is offering, that we want to talk about coordinating some services with some outside therapists and getting real creative in how the school district can possibly reimburse for some of those services. Did some of you guys just catch that? Did you catch that? Because it's possible. And I know that it's happening. Okay. And the third one is like, I'm checked out, I'm done. And the reason I'm turning down ESY is because we are burnt out, we are exhausted. And by no means am I turning down ESY because I think my child doesn't need it. What I'm saying is that we need to put our social, emotional, kind of mental health above dealing with ESY this summer. So there's 3 different letters that Master IEP coaches are going to be using with their clients. I'm super excited to help them support their community in making the right decisions for each individual family. because that's how it needs to be, guys. There's not a right answer for everybody. It's individualized. Let's see. Mercedes says, hi, my son got offered ESY through online, but today I declined it because my son doesn't do well. So Mercedes, just make sure that when you did decline that you are stating that it's not because you don't feel that your son needs it. I would also make sure that you're asking them, is there any type of data or communication that they would like over the summer to ensure that the transition back to school in the fall can be as smooth as possible. So that's kind of the next piece. Mercedes, I want to say that you've been in one of you're either a previous master IEP coach, you might be in the network, maybe you're in the masterclass and inner circle. Tell me, Mercedes, are you still connected to me in a program? Because I want to make sure that you get copies of that letter just to make sure you cover all the bases in there. So if you're in a current program, you're going to get access to that letter that I wrote. Kelly says, I'm all over the place. I'm so done with the whole e-learning thing. My husband and I both work full-time outside of the home and trying to get 3 kids through their schooling. Girl, I hear you. Okay. I hear you. It's exhausting. It's crazy. My kids have 2 weeks of school left, and they're high schoolers that don't have IEPs, and it's exhausting. And having a brother with Down syndrome and seeing what my mom's doing with e-learning with the programs that he's in some adult learning programs, that's exhausting. Like, so putting, 2 parents working full time, and then you put, different learning needs on top of that, it's just exhausting. Absolutely. Amanda said, we're coming off the rails. Okay, first of all, Amanda, yes, and yes. Thank you for just putting it out there like it is. Amanda says, we're coming off the rails as far as school goes, so I'm glad it's almost over. Started off fairly early, but not anymore. We haven't even talked about ESY yet, but for now, it's a no if it's online. So Amanda, you're connected some way too. Are you a previous master IEP coach? Are you in the network with me? I apologize. I don't have like a roster in front of me to remember all of the names. Or are you in the inner circle with me? So if you do decide to deny ESY, that you can make some choices and how to really communicate the why and maybe some alternatives and what you can do, even if you say no, what you possibly may need to do to make sure the transition back to the fall is as smooth as possible. So Katie, Mercedes, Kelly, Amanda, I think you guys really encapsulate what everybody is. Mercedes, you're not. Why do I know your name, Mercedes? You're not in the inner circle. Okay, let me tell you guys what I'm talking about here. I'm just going to do a quick. This is what I'm talking about. It's if you go to IEPmasterclass.com. All right, it's free for 14 days and it's $27 a month after that. I'm very upfront about it. It is what it is. I used to only work one-on-one with clients doing IEP work or get hired for like big, kind of situations with school districts. And I wanted to make this accessible to as many people as possible. It's my full-time work and it has been for a very long time. So I'm very upfront about what the program is. But I want you to know that you like it before you even have to commit to it. You can cancel anytime. But what I'm saying is before anything's even charged. So you come into the IEP Masterclass for 14 days for free. And then if you don't leave before then you're automatically enrolled for $27 a month. Mercedes, inside of this IEP Masterclass, the inner circle is included. And this is where you're going to get copies of those 3 ESY letters that are written in a PWN format. So that's prior written notice. I call them parent advocacy letters because it's just an easier term. But PWN, and it's the format that you need to make sure that it's copied to the file and that everything's documented very clearly. So Mercedes, I'd love to have you come join me in there so you can get copies of that. And, that's the important thing, is making sure that whatever choice you make, there is no wrong choice. First, let me make that really clear. Parents and teachers, there's no wrong choice. You're going to make the best choice possible with the information that you have, with your gut, that you know what your child needs. Okay? Like, you have to use your gut instinct in this situation of what needs to happen next, because there's no history of this type of situation for us to learn from. But what we can look at is that the best decisions that you've ever made for your child is when you followed your gut. Carla says, I'm around a 6. So Carla's, she knows we have the scale of 1 to 10, right? How are you feeling? So Carla says, I'm around a 6, not watching the news, but keeping up with COVID stats in my zip code. My child does not offer ESY because he goes to a Catholic school, but I would have turned it down. I'm tired. He is tired. He's already advocated for himself. He wants OT and swimming now. Yay. Yay that he's advocating for himself. Yay that you have empowered his voice and his ability to recognize what he needs. Kelly said, we said no to ESY because it's online, and after talking with the school, it was classes for him to get ahead for high school. He's in 8th grade at a therapeutic day school, and he likes his teachers, but the whole thing is just too overwhelming. See, guys, I'm seeing this trend. There's a lot of people saying no. And here's the other thing. A lot of you guys aren't kind of communicating this with other people, and that's okay because we're all busy. We're in this weird virtual world, right? So I want you to see this. Most people are saying no that I'm talking to, but I do want to make sure that you know there's alternatives to just accepting online. And some of you guys, again, just went, what? That's where you have to come into the masterclass so we can talk through what some of those might be. I'm actually doing a full training on that tomorrow inside of the masterclass, inside of the Inner Circle. So those are 2 programs in one. They're combined. You get both of them when you go there. And if you're going to say no, I also want you to clarify if there's any documentation. And I'm not talking about full-fledged, data and charts and all of that. I'm talking about, is there any specific communication that might be good, again, just to help with that fall transition back. And, it's going to be rough. It's going to be really difficult on so many different levels, no matter what the rules are, no matter what the, situation is. Even if we went back, if for some reason, and it's not going to be this way, we know this, but if we went back to normal, a transition back after 5 months out of school is rough anyway. So now to go back with new rules and new expectations, it's going to be tough. So working together over the summer with the school, or come into the masterclass so I can help you through the summer, make sure that you're prepped as much as possible. You have the support and the tools and the things that you need. That is going to be huge because we got to do everything possible. I'm already, it's May and I know everybody's done, everybody's exhausted and doesn't want to talk about this, but that's my job, right? Is to look further ahead and say, okay, so what are we going to need? And, after June and July, we get back to August. So let's just say in the next 12 weeks, what are we going to need at the end of these 12 weeks to make sure that as many kids as possible can transition back to school and be as successful as possible in that transition and then moving forward. It's going to be so critical. So, all right. Well, it was awesome to check in with you guys. I'm going to get back to work. I am working on all of the things for these ESY, kind of implementing this communication, this documentation to make sure that everybody gets what they need out of ESY, even though it might not be what you want. And it might not be fully appropriate according to what our world was, 3 months ago, but getting, together what needs to happen to make sure that ESY either happens the way that you need it to happen. You can get creative, possibly for some reimbursement from the school, or that you can say no and get that documentation really clear. So it's not just like mom turned down ESY because, her child didn't need it, because most of you guys, that's not why you're turning down ESY. All right, guys, I hope to see you inside of the IEP Masterclass and Inner Circle. Happy Monday. I'll talk to you soon.